All right, hello everybody. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Paradise, and welcome to the Paradise League Heroes of Newerth Amateur Tournament, Force of Caldivar number 2 or season number 2. And we're gonna start off here with the qualifiers, aka round robin, with HTC against Doraemon, and I don't know if I pronounced that right. And I'm joined here today by What You Got, aka Chris and Dozy. Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Doing fine, doing fine. Yeah, you start. Go ahead.
Thank you for the introduction, Paradise. Happy to be back for another cast. I wish HoN was working, but we'll make it work.
We
How you
make
doing,
it
Doze?
work. I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine. It's Saturday. Saturday is getting close to the evening or night, you could say. And yeah, we're gonna see some good games here.
I'm still in the morning, so I got my coffee. I'm ready to go.
Nice,
We're
nice,
approaching
nice.
the afternoon, so
Yeah.
I'll be there with you soon.
All right,
so-
so we're gonna see the first bands here, Beans. What do you say about these bands?
All right. So Hellborn has banned Behemoth, Magnus, Geomancer. I would say all these heroes fill about the same role, more or less like roaming second supports. Pretty strong options as well. The ones with like long range initiation and good for setting up ganks. And then the Legion side bans the defensive supports, Monarch, Pearl, and Rhapsody. So yeah, I mean the Rhapsody ban and the Geomancer ban I think stick out a little bit, but everything else looks pretty normal, I would say.
What do you think about the Legion banned the Monarch, but the Hellborn picked up the Keeper? Do you think that was pre-planned?
No. I'm a bit surprised by the Keeper first pick, but I would say Keeper is a pretty strong pick in general. It's good for setting up team fights and causing pressure on the side lanes. If they don't want to run it jungle, they can run it lane. So I'm expecting to see a laning Keeper, but well, you never really know.
We see Soul Reaper Mage Ben as first pick. That's not like we've been seeing Soul Reaper a lot, but maybe not a Mage Ben. What do you think about that? As like a early pick, don't you think it can get a lot countered like the hero itself?
Yeah, so Mage Bane, at least for me, you typically want to pick this hero up when he's countering some kind of like big mana pool mage hero. Now, the Legion did pick up a Soul Reaper, so in my mind, I almost feel like they picked it just so our Hellborn team here couldn't like counterpick the Soul Reaper and have that big mana rift target. But you do run that risk of the Mage Bane not really being the most effective. Since right now they're running 2 strength heroes and then an empath support, which isn't going to be building the biggest mana pool, but also will be hiding inside one of the Hellborn core heroes, so not really going to be a mana rift target in general. So I would say not really a big fan of the Mage Bane pick, but maybe they have a plan for it and they can make it work in their draft here. And then Hellborn goes with empath and Flux, so Flux plus Keeper, that's like good synergy. They have the pull into like the mass root. And now they're just lacking the follow-up damage output to secure kills.
So, what do you think? We know that the Hellborn side is from Europe, right? And the Legion side is from Thailand. So, I think this was a US West server. So I think
I'll just have to take your word for it because I didn't actually get to join the lobby and check.
Yeah, we see an average ping on the 260 on the Legion and a 40 on the Hellborn. So they're pretty much 250 ping both of the teams.
Okay, this is interesting. So it'll be like maybe like a little bit of like, I don't want to say sloppy plays, but like we might see like a little bit of odd stuff happening just because the players have like quite a bit of ping. But I mean, it's gonna be the same for both sides. So in that regard, it'll be more or less like evening itself out, I would imagine. But maybe the players will not be used to these conditions as well. So we'll keep that in the back of our mind.
We'll see. In my when you have a high ping, I mostly want to think like you don't want some too hard skill shot. You just want heroes that goes in. You want people that man up. You want heroes that just like goes in, right? I think like Lord, for example, is one of good like ping heroes in my mind. He's from the top of my head. But if you play like they banned Bushwhack in the second banning phase, I don't think you want to play Bushwhack with this ping.
That's actually interesting that Bushwhack made it all the way through to the second ban wave. That hero has been blind ban first wave or insta pick like almost for like the last like 2 tournaments I think that we've played and casted it.
Yeah, but do you think you want to play Bushwhack with ping though? Don't you think it's gonna become like worse to play Bushwhack with high ping? Do you think they don't care about it?
Yeah, I mean it might be a little more difficult to properly sidestep and kite, but I think once you get the shrunken, probably not so big of a deal. The draft's almost done, by the way. You want to go through the second ban wave?
Yeah.
The picks.
Yeah. So we see from the Legion side, we see a Bushwhack, Dark Lady, and a Silhouette ban. And for the Hellborn, we see Corrupted, Swiftblade, and a Scout. Man, these bans, like the Corrupted, sure, the Bushwhack, yeah, the Swiftblade maybe, but like the rest of the bands, they're very unusual, right? Like we don't see these.
It's
bands.
Actually really cool to see like a Silhouette and a Scout ban. And can you scroll up just a little bit? Sorry, I'm being picky. The Dark Lady ban as well. Like these are not really meta-ish heroes, I would say, in NAEU scene, which we're used to seeing. So I mean, this is pretty interesting stuff. And they follow up the Magebane Soul Reaper with a Cursed Demented Shaman, and then last pick a Armadon. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was back in the Pro number 4, so like 2 cycles ago. My team, I drafted like something very similar to this with like a Soul Reaper, a Cursed, Demented Shaman, but we had like a Calamity and a Hag, and we lacked a lot of catch. So they picked up like an Armadon and a Magebane, which also do not really like provide catch. So this Legion lineup, it almost reminds me of something that I tried to do once, and it didn't end up working out. And funny enough, we were also against a Predator. That was the game FoC was ringing for Vinicius, I think it was their team name that cycle. We actually had a lot of trouble dealing with the Predator. So I think like the spread pick is actually very smart coming out from the Hellborn side here. I'm blanking on their name. I think it's hard to communicate. And just overall, they have like a very tanky lineup, which Soul Reaper is very good against these like mass strength lineups because his aura, the Withering Presence, will do lots of damage throughout the team fights if he's able to stay alive. Now, he has a Demented Shaman and a Cursed in his team, which means it will be pretty difficult to like bring him down quickly. And outside of the Balfagor's AoE damage here for Hellborn, they don't really have like a lot of burst or like, big wombo combo following up the Keeper route from the Flux pool. It's mostly going to come from Predator right-clicking with Empath buffing him this game. So more so like single target damage, I would say, from the Flux and the Predator. So I'll throw a question to you now. Do you think like based on how tanky the Legion lineup is, they're running like multiple strength cores with like 2 defensive supports, do you think they're gonna be able to like prolong team fights long enough to just like kite the Predator and try to maneuver in that way?
If Pred gets kited, he's almost like quite useless. But this game, he does have Empath. Will provide him like both like the ward, the link, the movement speed, maybe a tablet later on. Like I don't think Pred is gonna have an issue at all this game. I think he's gonna jump at them and just hit them to death. I think Pred here is actually a really good pick. And also on top of that, they do have the Keeper ulti, right? And they also have the Balfagor. And beside that, I have the Flux. I think that the Hellborn has the advantage of the draft, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because of the Pred, because like they're playing a lot of like big beefy heroes on the Legion, and Pred benefits from that, right? The more HP you got, the more damage he deals.
So I'm looking at your minimap, and I gotta touch on something that's like super important to me. There's a jungle Balfagor in the game.
There's a
jungling Balfagor level 1, and this gets my seal of approval. Not only because it's awesome, but because we're seeing a jungler. And Balfagor, he arguably isn't one of the faster junglers, but he can jungle like relatively like 1 level per minute and be somewhere around level 7 by like 6 to 7 minutes if done correctly. And I think like once you get that maxed out corpse conversion and the energizer, I mean, you play a lot of Balfagor, so you probably know quite a bit about like Balfagor timings and when he comes online. But I think once you have like that maxed out corpse conversion and you're getting like just around the corner to energizer, that's when this hero like really picks up steam.
Yeah, like Balfagor, I agree with you 100%.
So I think we'll see him farming for like most of the early game, but then like once he gets his levels up and maybe if he gets like a lucky rune or something, we could see him rotate for maybe a gank on the Soul Reaper, for example, who's very vulnerable against the Flux to slow him for a long time. Even like the top lane, if he comes in for like a gank on the Accursed with Silence later on, could be good.
Oh, we see him mid here, so cut you off.
Yeah, Soul Reaper doesn't have met. Oh, he does have. He takes him out.
Yeah, he got
That's gotta be worth it,
first
right? He gets
round.
the Bloodlust.
He does have the... Yeah, he got the Bloodlust, he got the bottle, right? Flux does not have the bottle, he has 630 gold. And he's not... Like, he's just gonna buy TP, he's not gonna have the bottle for mid.
So prior to that fight, I would say Flux was slightly winning the mid lane. He has 5 denies, which is very important against another ranged hero. He gets more XP denied versus a melee hero. But then he also had a couple more last hits. So the... Bloodlust boosts him up to 370 gold per minute as he's last hitting some creeps, but the Flux was just at 300 himself, getting the counter kill after he died. So it's not even like a... Normally when we see a Bloodlust in mid, it's like a 200 GPM gap. It's not really that bad, actually.
Yeah. But we also see something interesting, Vince. We see that the Soul Reaper skips E. He goes for the W, level 2.
Yeah, I would say that's unusual as well.
Yeah, it is, but also like it's a lot of slow. You get the extra heal, you also get the extra damage on the W. If you want to play aggressive, the W is better in my opinion, I would say. Meanwhile at top lane here, we see the Amp is gonna get low.
Does he have mana for a spine? Oh, he's just out of range. The gap from Empath here is just far enough. He's gonna get a shield though. This could be the kill there. It's gonna blow up a curse, putting that fire shield on.
Yeah, but like,
Armadon, he might end up falling here. He's very deep now. He's probably gonna buy out. 47 gold. Okay. Almost had enough gold for a TP, but
sad part is like the Armadon got nothing from that. Sadly, no assist or anything. There was a curse shield who got the kill, not the spine.
Okay. Wait, he didn't get an assist?
No, I think he...
Wow, that's weird. He's 0-1-0.
Yeah, but he did the damage at tier 1 and they like dove in behind tier 2, so I think the time went out.
Okay.
So that was
that's actually not that good, because then Armadon doesn't get farming XP while this is happening. It comes back to the top lane, but a curse is not here. And they don't have Toxin Claw on the Pred, but he might still go down. Meanwhile, a curse denied himself to the Ancients. Yeah, he should be dead here. He's trying to get a counter on the Empath, but there's another link.
We get the kill!
Oh, he actually takes him out! What am I saying?
I think the Pred is gonna be in a bit... Oh, he's gonna be dangerous, I think, right? He doesn't have boots on Armadon though, he's just gonna run away on the Pred.
Yeah, the range again.
And this Armadon, man, oof.
Armadon accursed. I mean, no cursed here, but now he's here. He's regen over to the Armadon. Probably send himself a health potion.
So we haven't talked a lot about the bot lane. I don't think a lot is happening here, right? The keeper is just trying to lane. I don't think he's putting a lot of pressure. They put a revelation ward on their lane, so it's hard for keeper to actually lane. Meanwhile, mid here, we see that.
Does the Sorper have mana? He's out of bottle, I think.
He's dead, right? Yeah.
Into the tower. Yeah, that's the tower actually started hitting him.
This Soul Reaper is showing a lot of dominance, though, Vince. Like he's
playing behind the tower. That's not what I was expecting actually when you pointed it out. Top lane, maybe no.
I don't know if keeper is AFK or if he's trying to use the creeps maybe to get some lane control here. I think he's getting the lane control, right? Yeah. He's gonna get a wave here. Meanwhile, top lane is driving him again on the Empath, man. This Armadon, he said, "You guys know what? This is my lane. Get the hell out of here."
I like how aggressive they're playing. They're making a point to like cause disruption up here, so Predator isn't just like straight up free farming. But I mean, he does have a lot of creep kills, 37. Armadon should die here. He's just out of position. Same with the Accursed. The Balfagor comes over level 6, and that's just an easy kill. He also has the Martyrs picked up, so this will delay his Energizer by a little bit, but it'll allow him to make these rotations. The double tap definitely being worth it.
I do have a question, Vince. So we know that Thailand players they play a lot of casual mode, right? This is not casual mode,
to my knowledge,
yeah. So they are playing like aggressive, a lot aggressive of the Legion side. Do you think that this is the way they play in the casual? Like when you die, you don't lose any gold. Like it doesn't matter if you die, right?
Yeah, you could be right about that. And I don't actually know like how much FoC normal mode they play, or even if they're like used to this map at all. But I mean, I think the principles are still there. Like they just want to cause pressure. They're obviously the Predator's a really good pick against their heroes, so they're mostly going for the empath when they can.
So we're catching off, and we see a Flux is gonna TP top with the Invis and an ultimate here.
Yeah, this could be.
That's
He's probably gonna wait for the curse to come in range here with the pull, maybe.
Man, the Armadon is dealing a lot of damage, man. The E and the W together, they're.
Oh man, the Predator is actually taking so much fine damage.
Yeah.
Okay, the fire shield removes the Flux slow, and he'll just walk away.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, is he gonna get the tower here? I don't think so. They're gonna use the glyph.
AlphaGore could potentially rotate over. I mean, he has slow and marchers, but
yeah. But we already see a 2k difference, and it's only
there's a
8
Newerth
minutes
bot lane on the Keeper of the Forest. I don't know if they actually see him. It looks. Oh, there's the dust coming out. Mageman will get the final auto attack. Good dust coming in from the Shaman. Here's a kill for the Magebane.
Mid here, we're gonna see an ultimate from the Blackboard, and
yeah,
that's it.
Isn't it crazy? He already has the HoN Newerth up again. I feel like he just used that top lane, but some time went by, and he's level 8 now at 8 minutes. This is a jungling Balfagor.
And 400 GPM. He buys up the Enginizer, which is really good. He's gonna be able to push the tower super easy now. Like even though the tower of the Hellborn is like 10%, maybe 50%, this Legion tower is 100%, but it's gonna soon be dead. They let Balfagor push it.
So it is, I would say, quite unusual to run not only a jungle Balfagor but also an offlane keeper in the same team. This almost reminds me of like the old metas where you would run pulling suicides and junglers, which we almost never see nowadays. But do you think it's an oversight by the Legion team to not draft like much anti-push? They really only have like Soul Reaper Judgment nukes and maybe Armadon spines, which take like a little while to ramp up. So they're not really able to effectively clear creep waves. The top lane, they are going on to the Armadon. The Accursed might go down first. Armadon is going to also fall. This is a four-player rotation, or 4 versus 2. So not really much chance for them here, but...
They also lost the mid tower though on the Hellborn side. So it's
actually the Legion side pushing the first tower of the game, which is interesting. But I think now that we're approaching like around the 10-minute mark, it would be probably optimal to see like the Hellborn side start to group up with their Balfagor, maybe let the Predator farm and he can join with the TP to any team fights. But I would like to see them start pushing the towers now, because Balfagor is very high level and has his Energizer already picked up.
We see that Soul Reaper actually stacked in woods for himself, and he took the triple, so he's gonna sit around 370 GPM almost now. So he's like, even though he's 1-3, he's still up there, man. He can recover, especially when he maxed the W. Actually, no, sorry, he only went 2 points in W and then the rest in E. Okay, that's interesting. We see a bot lane here though. Are they gonna catch anyone here on the Hellborn side? They do use the Flux ulti, they're gonna catch a mage spell. He's gonna fall. Are they gonna keep chasing for the Demented here? He's gonna TP out. Do they have any cancel? No, they don't. He's just gonna TP out there. That's a kill on mage spell. That's devastating for the Legion. That was the only hero in Legion side that had the winning lane, and they just got him. So
they use no... Sorry, I was a bit preoccupied. They used no ultimates for that kill, actually, right? To take out the mage brain. Now, he was the top farmer, I believe, in the game, so that was actually a pretty important kill.
And also get a tower now, man. This is the power of the Balfagor, man. The Enginizer into the creeps. And also the Keeper creeps. I mean, they don't do that much damage as the Balfagor, but I mean, they did 19 damage. It's almost like a creep on the lane creep, so I mean, they did damage as well.
Funny enough, when you play Keeper of the Forest, as we actually have action, Predator running into 2, they were stealing the stacks, it looks like, with the Armadon.
Yeah, they
Predator
were.
trying to defend them, but they're already gone, and can't really follow anyone for a kill here. But funny enough about the Keeper of the Forest is you actually don't want to max your animated trees.
Yeah.
They don't really scale that well, so you're typically you want to max your Nature's Guidance, and depending on whether you want to be more of like a right clicker, I think there's actually mid lane, Jose.
Oh, yeah.
Good heal coming in on the Soul Reaper. I think that was a fire shield from the Cauterize from the Accursed, but he's gonna fall anyway. There's just too many players here. Actually no, Accursed wasn't there. That was just a Sackstone heal. Actually, there's a lot of healing coming in from the Soul Reaper.
And now we see the power of the Balfagor here, man. They're pushing the towers. They're like, guys, we need map control. Let's kill all the towers.
They might want to defend this second one though.
Yeah, but I think the Hellborn probably should go back here, and they should just focus on the tier 1s for now. Because I think that if they just go top as 5, I don't think like you said, the Legion, they lack anti-push. So yeah. So we're getting close to any items here on either side. We see that Balfagor is picking up the gnomes. We see bones on the Pred. It's 49 gold on the Flux, and Keeper and Empath is not really close to anything right now. And on the Legion side, we see that we don't really have any big items on the way. We see that Alchemist's Bones is picked up on the Mage Pin, and also a Life Tube. So I guess that's gonna be... Yeah, he's picked up a Mana Tube as well, so that's gonna be a sustainer into
Lever too?
I think
so.
so.
Newerth comes out mid lane. Boy, Soul Reaper, he had such a good start to this game, but man, it feels like it's kind of falling apart for him. 1 in 5, but I gotta say though, I mean, being 1 in 5, he still is 300 GPM. That is still quite good, and you almost gotta like think, if he didn't have those 5 deaths, like he could really be having like a monster game right now. I feel like somewhere like 450, 500 GPM.
I have a question for you, Vince. Do you think that the method is telling his teammates, guys, stop feed, please? Because it's 0-0-1.
No, I mean, interestingly enough, he actually maxed out his Unbreakable so far. He's got level 3 in that, which I don't think that's a normal skill build for the Shaman, because that skill typically scales better in the later parts of the game. But Legion is pushing forward here. They want to secure some kills. Balfagor is very low on mana. I think he has a Hell on Newerth coming up soon. They might like to try to turn this, but Mage Bane's burning his mana. There comes a mana if they take him out. Keeper of the Forest doesn't have a root anymore. Here comes a Flux pull, trying to pull them back into position. They take out the Mage Bane. And Predator's here now right-clicking. They don't really have a lot of fighting power against the Predator, but here comes a Demonic Execution. Predator tries to hold his ground, but it's just too much. There's 4 heroes there fighting into him. Lane coming out onto the Keeper of the onto the Soul Reaper from the Empath, and she throws down a wall, but it's not going to really save her. She's getting slowed up by the Armadon, and it's a 2 versus 3 still. Legion pushing forward. They don't have a lot of mana on their heroes, but they are just
they don't care, man.
Forward. Armadon dives the tier 2 tower, takes out Balfagor, trying to clean up these Keeper minions as well. And off to the side, we have Diminished Shaman trying to run from Flux. That's not going to work out for him. Flux takes him out. Patrick comes out for the Flux. Now he's 9-1, a champion of Newerth. So after dying for the first blood, he has gotten 9 straight kills since then. And he is now 513 gold per minute, Jose.
I don't know if you catch that, but Balfagor actually bought back for that fight. I don't know if you saw that. But actually he used a buyback on the Balfagor. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much secured laning. I mean, the fight, right? But yeah, man, the Legion, even though they're almost 6k behind it, they're still putting up some fight. They're not giving up, man. They're like, yeah.
And the XP is like basically even. There's a 100 plus difference in experience. So they have the levels on their heroes right now. It's just the gold that they're lacking. And if you think about it, the gold is really coming mostly from the tower kills that Hellborn has. So it's not really like gold that they lost through laning phase. They just need to make it up by getting their own tower pushes. Now top lane, we have another engagement. Predator jumps in on the Armadon. Here comes a Keeper root, locking down, I believe that's the Demented Shaman. He gets healed by the Accursed. He's still holding his ground as he breaks the Unbreakable. Flux pulls them forward, trying to secure some kills. Slows come out onto Armadon, but he is just tanking the front lines for his team. Predator trying to right-click through this Armadon, but he's got his back facing him. Not a lot of damage coming in. He actually spines and takes out the Flux. That's a champion in Newerth streak going down to the Accursed. They're going to turn it around even further as Predator goes down, Empath goes down, and it's a double tap coming out for the Armadon. And now they have the experience lead, Doze, 2,000, and they've cut the gold deficit down to only 2,000 with a tower push or two here coming up. They could close the gap even further. And while this was happening, Balfagor was down in the bot lane, where I believe he did push the tier 1 tower. You could correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, he was.
But he is causing pressure on the bottom portion of the map.
Yeah, but they had the tier 1 tower before. That was down.
Do they know Keeper is in this? They look like they're following him, like...
He's Dustin. He got Dustin.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see. Share screen to Paradise. He's a better camera. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we do see that... like, they're focusing a lot on the Armadon, I feel like, on the Hellborn side. And it is biting them back. Like they're putting a lot of resources on the Armadon. They're never really killing because of the Soul Reaper. They have the Accursed, they have the Demented. They have so many defensive heals for the Armadon, and the Armadon just never dies.
Yeah, so their whole goal is to just tank up and try to hold their ground, which they've been doing that pretty reliably, I would say. And they're even going to take out a tier 2 top tower now as well. I don't foresee this being defended. Keeper's in the area. Could you do me a favor and just click on the skills on the interface? I think it shows cooldowns. No. F1 again. There you go. Oh, you had it, and then you... Oh, there you go. Okay, good. Alright. Press F1 one more time. There you go.
There we go.
Sorry for you at home. Doze is not very good with the interface. I have to teach him how to I have to teach him how to show me what I need to see. But yeah, so now I can see the cooldowns on the spells. Thank you. So Keeper has his root up now, but that tower was not defendable. So look at the gold and XP now. It is dead even on gold. And who do you... So now that we've kind of approached the mid game, Doze, like who do you think is favored, like at the moment, like in terms of like momentum?
I think the Legion is so strong right now. I think that the Hellborn never want to do a real 5 versus 5 fight. Like they have too much cats. We see Magebane here though.
Magebane's getting stunned up here. Oh, there's the burst damage coming in from the hell on Newerth. The silence as well. Magebane couldn't blink. I don't even know if he had it available. He might have blinked to get into that position, but they actually take him out, and that will mean that Hellborn can start knocking on the door here. A lot of damage already at the tier 3 tower from the Balfagor and his team support. They get the tower to about half life. And also, while this is happening, we have the Legion split pushing the bottom lane, and the second half of the Hellborn team pushing the top lane. They will be rejoined by the rest of their team to try to bring down... This is the last of the tier 2 towers that Legion has, and it will fall. So this has honestly just become like a tower push game for both teams. It's very very interesting to see how
there's one tower left.
The same thing. Yep. There's one tower left. It's
one tower left.
Hellborn's mid tier 2 tower. At 20 minutes, we've almost seen all of the outer towers pushed.
We see Keeper getting here to pick up portal key as well. I think that's good. A lot of good cats, right? So
this build that Keeper has gone for reminds me of Zane. He used to love to go offlane Keeper, go sorcery boots into portal key, and he would just be like this utility R button for his team. And I would imagine he'll probably want to build into like Resto Stone now and just basically be like team lockdown for his team. Do you think there's like any other items like that he would want to go for on the Keeper other than maybe like a Resto Stone?
The thing is, Resto Stone is very expensive. In my opinion, I think some like a gnome, a barrier.
I thought Stormcloud is down. Armadon in the front lines, getting rooted. Back toward the tower though, taking a lot of damage, gets a heal. Meanwhile, they are going on the Demented Shaman. Cape was broken. He goes down first. They're still trying to hold their ground though. Mageman blinks into the front lines. They take out the Balfagor, who already used the cell on Newerth. The Keeper of the Forest also fell, did use his root as well. And there's still 4 players healthy here for the Legion side. They're diving onto the Flux. The slow's coming in from the Snot of Armadon and the Withering Presence from the Sword, but Demonic Execution comes out. Flux trying to do everything he can, but he's just a sitting duck as he's slowed. The counter slow's not going to be enough, and the power of the Legion team just overwhelming the Hellborn side here. As the last outer tower falls, we now have no more base protection for either side in any lane, and the mid Rex now being worked on.
They're manning up, man. The Legion side actually surprised me. I thought this game was in the bag for the Hellborn, man. It was looking very promising for them, and they just came back, man. Like the Legion is playing so aggressive. Like they don't care. They go in. They're like, we are going in. End of discussion.
Yeah, I mean, they picked an excellent draft for that strategy. Like all of their heroes, like. I don't want to say they synergize with each other, but they synergize at that like specific game plan. Like just going in, soaking damage, returning damage back with like heals, and just holding their ground. And they've made that work, even going up against a Predator who hasn't, I guess, really hit his peak just yet. He, I would say, went for like a greedier item route. I don't know, like in hindsight, do you think like the Alchemist Bones Thunderclaw build was maybe too greedy going up against this like grouping up lineup, or do you feel like that just means they needed to avoid fighting a little bit longer?
I think they overextended a bit. Like they needed those
potential comp fight here. I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but there's a smoked up Balfagor. Hellborn wants to fight this. They do have a Flux pull. Here comes the slow. Balfagor held on Newerth coming in. Big damage. Can they get the picks that they're looking for to start the fight? Keeper Root comes down. Demented Shaman still healing, holding his ground. Meanwhile, Magebane is up at the top part of the map, so not part of this fight. He's split pushing the top lane, and it looked like his team might be missing his presence here, as they lose 3 players trying to take out that aggressive Kongor. Maybe they were not expecting the Hellborn side to defend that. There's a leap coming in. The restraint. He cannot leap away, and he's going to fall. The damage comes in from Predator, who picked up the Hyper Crown, and he was also buffed here by the Empath with the Abyssal Skull. So huge damage coming in. Magebane could not blink away. Still very squishy, I would say. Only around 1100 HP. Going for a very, both carries, honestly, going for quite the greedier builds in like a more or less like team fight style of matchup.
But I also think that Pred gives you the opportunity to go a bit greedy, like he has a built-in BKB, man. If you go greedy, you use the press W and you hit like a truck, right? I feel like Pred gives you the opportunity with the Stone Eye to be like a bit more greedy with your items. You don't need to have the defensive items. You can have like a early brutalizer to just go in ham and you hit them or anything similar.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we see that the game is going back and forward. Now it's almost dead even on the goal, and the Hellborn has the advantage of the XP now, man. It's back and forward, Beans. It's.
Do you think that the Legion side trying to steal that Kong was an oversight, because they didn't commit to it with 5 heroes. They tried to like more or less sneak it in with 4 out of 5 players while Magebane was up in the top lane. Or do you just feel like they really didn't expect Hellborn to defend that tower? Sorry, Kongor, not tower.
I think like the comms of the Legion were basically okay. I push top on Magebane. Rest of you just delay the fight. You don't need to get Kongor, because they were not really committed to the Kongor. They were just being there, right? They didn't really care about like actually committing to the Kongor. They just wanted to create some space for the Magebane to push top. But sadly, it didn't work as they planned, I would figure.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's hard for them, I would say, to like reset going up against like the Flux pull into Keeper Root. They can purge like one guy with the Accursed Shield, but they're more or less kind of committed to fighting at that point. So yeah, I mean, it was a good heads up play from Hellborn to Veiled Rot there. I think they smoked on like at least 3 of their players. They might have even team smoked the whole team. I didn't quite catch the start of that, but it was a very good fight coming in from Hellborn. And I gotta say, like, even now, as we're approaching 25 minutes, this game still feels like neither side is like out of the game. Like, it's just gonna really come down to like the team fights, who can hold their ground longer, and maybe like any split pushing that could potentially happen from maybe the Mage Bane or the Predator, because they both clean waves pretty quickly now. I would say they can force the opposing side to have to defend side lanes. But now we see Legion doing their own Kongor, and I think this is probably the right time for that, I would say, because they just burned the ultimates on Hellborn. But, you know, if we actually look at it, the only one they don't have up currently is the Keeper route, which is up in 12 seconds. So do you think that they would actually look to try to fight this from Hellborn?
I think they will. They should be. Actually, do they have time? Because yeah, they should have time to walk there, right? They're not killing that Kongor that fast on the on the Legion side, right? So I think they want to contest it, man. They're strong now. They have the Flux and Keeper and the Balfagor combo. I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing a staff on the Balfagor. We actually see a Bard armor, Vince. Since we see that like no one is really getting shrunken, they have 3 voids of the talisman. Like they see the Mage Wave with the Mighty Blade, so they might predict a BKB on there, but man, I don't know, man. I would rather see a staff here on the Balfagor. Like staff, Balfagor, and Flux combo, that's a lot of damage, a lot of silence, and yeah.
Why? So what is it the barbed armor is redirecting, actually? Do you think he's trying to block like the Soul Reaper damage coming in? Because it's not really like massive burst, I would say. Like there's no the only like massive burst that Legion has is the demonic execution when he like gets low. But I don't think like the Soul Reaper is necessarily forced to use that. Like as soon as he sees the Balfagor like hovering around 50% life. It's very maybe like when the Mage Bane blinks on him, because he's probably been focusing him, I would say, like draining his mana. Maybe that's his thought process. But
I don't know.
But I agree. Like normally the staff just feels like the go-to Balfagor pickup. So you have the Energizer, the gnomes, the staff. You just kind of have like everything that you need to just go into the team fight and just do tons of damage.
He would also have the staff by now almost. The war costs 2.2k, so.
Build routes used here by Hellborn. Now the Legion side already did take out their Kongor. They're gonna run into Soul Reaper here. He pops the Void and goes for the TP. Do they have a stun to stop this? I think the Empath Link, I believe, stopped it.
Yep, the Link.
So Soul Reaper, good attempt there. He was kind of a sitting duck. They're gonna maybe catch more here as the Minute Shaman also getting caught, but the Curse keeping him alive for now. They're actually trying to fight this without the Soul Reaper. Oh, he bought back. That's why. Double tap comes in for the Balfagor. Soul Reaper's trying to rejoin the party, still has his ultimate ready to go. And meanwhile in the background, they are just losing players one by one. And they still have Armadon and Soul Reaper up though. And the ultimates are down from Hellborn now. They're gonna try to... Oh, there's the Demonic Execution. It stops the TP. Predator on low life, trying to hold his ground, but it's not going to be enough. Too much pressure coming in. The Armadon has a demonic breastplate, by the way, enhancing his team's damage by quite a lot. They take out the Empath as well there. So in the end, it was only 2 deaths on the Hellborn side, and this did come at the cost of a Soul Reaper buyback. So
yeah, 3
kills plus a buyback in exchange for 2 kills. Overall, I think Hellborn is still kind of happy with that. I mean, what would you say? I mean, they did lose the Predator. Legion is looking to maybe push now, and I don't know if he has a buyback. Does he have buyback? Can you check?
Oh, he does.
Okay, so he has a buyback, so he'll probably actually 20 seconds. If they can hold the structure from taking any damage here, he will not need to use the buyback.
He should be fine. We see that Flux actually picks up a demonic, by the way. I don't know if we said that.
No, I did not. I mentioned the demonic from Armadon, so both sides actually have an both sides have a demonic. Is Keeper armoring the tower, by the way? I don't think I see that. I would like to see him put Keeper armor on the tower. There's a Flux pull into Balfagor ultimate. Predator is now here. chewing through the enemy team. They get 1 kill on the Shaman. Soul Reaper was low, did heal himself back up. Meanwhile, the Armadon does take out 2 before he falls. A Curse without an ultimate anymore. It does fall. Now Soul Reaper, the last man standing. Well, Mage Bane wasn't there once again. That seems to be almost the theme of the match, that he's more or less not in a lot of these team fights, and that kind of just makes it so they're not really able to fight full throttle back. But this was a good fight for Hellborn. They only lost the Keeper and the Balfagor, who dumped all their spells actually. Or did Keeper actually even not root?
No, I think he got caught by the. I mean, not really caught, but he got jumped on, and I think he got his ulti off because.
Oh wow! Okay, so they actually won that fight without a Keeper root, like pretty handedly, I would say.
But yeah, man, this game is so back and forth. It's like looking like the Legion is gonna push the base here now, and then the Harbor defense off, and we see that Mage Bane like is not in the fight. It's like it's a bit clumsy. This is the second full team fight. Mage Bane is just not there, and they're fighting without him. I don't know if it's intended or if they're making communication mistakes, or whatever it is.
So the longer this game goes, do we still favor the Predator, like the longer stages of the game? Because like the more items he progresses, like he'll be able to just hold his ground against like all these tanky heroes, or do you feel like they still have the tools to like kite him down with the Soul Reaper ultimate, with the Mage Bane Mana Rift? Like, do you think they still have the tools, or do you think like the longer it goes, the Predator will be favored more and more?
I think now at minute 30, I think that's a turning point for Pred. I think it's now when he gets like super dangerous, especially with an Ampath inside of you. Like he bought a Abyssal Skull, but I would rather see a tablet just for him to like push him around and just help him with the catch. I don't think Pred is gonna have any issues at all with an Ampath inside of him.
So what does Predator need now? I was thinking in my mind like he should go for the Oblivion Hammer, or just like start with the Basher. He's gone for a Firebrand here. He wants some more mobility.
I would take it as a Frostburn.
So you think he'll upgrade that into a Frostburn, and then you think he'll just... Oh, he actually gets the TP stopped on the Flux. Wow, did you see how fast he died actually? From,
he had the Stone Cloud also.
Ah, okay. So he probably had like negative armor there.
He had a lot
it actually looked really funny to see Flux drop that fast.
Yep. As a Flux player myself, I was confused at first.
Okay, now we see Keeper putting armor on the tower. I like that.
Finally, man.
Yeah, this tower should already be, I would say.
This is not something you see every day. We see a barrier and the gnomes on
Did he finish the barrier?
No. Yeah, he bought the barrier. He's on the way.
Okay. Buyback comes in from the Flux here. The tower is actually falling. They're not committing to it. Okay, they actually deny it. I actually dislike the deny because I think you want to hold the tower and kill it. And I don't think that Legion was committed to even throwing up 1 or 2 more auto attacks there. So I think that's a little bit of an oversight there to deny your own base tower.
Yeah, especially when you have a keeper, man. Like that's like a keeper main, job, right? We see that Mage Bane, he bought the Mighty Blade, and then he bought the Geo, right? He had the Mighty Blade for a long time now, right? He had the Firebrand, and then
I think you're right. I do believe so. And I think his thought process is that the Geobane is gonna act similarly to the Shrunken here, but it'll allow him more split push presence and more mobility overall. So he probably wants to finish that first. I think he can get away with it because it does remove a lot of the issues he has this game, which are like the Keeper root holding him in place, the Pred jumping on him. He can dispel the Restrain from himself, as well as the Balfagor Silence. Those are going to be the main like tools at dealing with him, so he can continue to just play solo, I think, for now until he gets to that Shrunken timing. But at the same time, it is a little odd to be seeing like this version of Mage Bane playing more like the old Mage Bane style, because I still am under the impression that you don't really want to play the Mage Bane in that manner. I don't think he kind of still functions like that hard carry split push variant when he was an agility hero. I don't know if you agree, because I don't really play a whole lot of Mage Bane myself, but I do feel like he doesn't really do that same style anymore as well.
Yeah, I don't think this item build is very old school, right? Like this is what you did when it was agility based, right? I think these days you want like a mock and a helm maybe. And you just fight, because when you hit people with your blink, you get the extra attack speed you want, right? You get 50. Is it per hero or is it just when you hit someone? No, it's when you attack. Sorry, so when you attack a hero, you get 50 attack speed. So like you even have the attack speed already. You just want the damage, you want the survivability, you want the utility. Like I don't think this is the item build on Mage Pain. I mean, it can work, but it's not as good as like the Mock Helm, I would say, for example.
Okay.
In my opinion, at least.
No, fair enough. And you know, you could also like I was also thinking like this could be like a good Oblivion Hammer game for him as well, going up against a Predator. Like you know, he could have really utilized going more of like a combat more so style build. But I mean, I think in general the matchup of Mageman versus Predator will always favor the Predator. I think it's a very hard matchup for the Mageman.
Yep.
And he actually
another
Ice
combo
Brand,
here.
so he's not going Shrunken. He goes Ice Brand. He wants
Ice Brand.
Skull. Yeah.
I mean, Frostwolf against Predator is really good, but I think he needs a Shrunken here though.
Yeah, I mean the one other issue is he's kind of stacking more health and making like the Pred's damage output even higher. But we see both teams doing their own Kongors. Keeper is in the jungle. I don't know exactly how close he is to Resto Stone, but he has an Arcana. Might have some pieces to the Sustainer component in his stash.
I don't think I've seen
only
him buying
260 GPM, which is not very high, I would say, considering like the high pace of this game with all the fighting in the towers. But you know, the longer the game goes, he's gonna just naturally get that Resto Stone eventually, and that will more or less double like his team fight effectiveness.
I don't know if I like about this barrier and almost on the Soul Reaper. Like, yeah, I feel like the Soul Reaper needs some farming potential, either like Rimor or the Dawnbringer, right? You want that light brand into something.
I definitely think it would be better, but I think like the way they're playing this is more like Armadon and Magebane are the soakers.
I guess so.
But it is odd because Soul Reaper is just naturally like that flash farming hero. To see him play more of this like, team utility role. And Link is going to come out here, Flux Pull into Keeper Root. They're locking down the Demented Shaman, just always is the first victim for this Legion side, unfortunately. They take down the Armadon as well. Predator, full HP, right-clicking through the opposition. Soul Reaper goes down. It's a hat-trick for Doomy. And there is only Magebane alive for the Legion side. And this is something that I was fearing for the Legion side, is that once Predator got to a point where he could just hold his ground, the damage output would just be too much for them to deal with. Magebane going for a counter kill here on the Flux. The illusion's not going to be enough to take him out. 60 life. He did have to blink away though. The safety saves himself. And well, now he's got a big task ahead of him. He's got to hold a 3-man push at his mid lane. There are some buybacks though. There are, I think, 2 buybacks available.
Yeah, but I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, but Mageman actually cut the wave. So right now the Hellborn doesn't have a wave beans. They can't push.
Okay.
He did cut the wave. So
probably what prompted that engagement to begin with was he was cutting the wave. So he actually stalls the tower push, which was a pretty heads-up play, I would say, from the Magebane.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
And they didn't need to expend any of their buybacks to defend their base now.
But yeah, we see that Frostwolf is gonna get finished on the Magebane. I think Frostwolf is good against the Pred because it slows you down so much on the Pred.
They're good to Pred bot, by the way.
He bought Harkons, actually.
Yeah, and there's 2 voids on Legion.
3 voids.
3 voids, yeah, 3 voids. So both the supports and the Soul Reaper. And not only that, but the Armadon is very stacked on armor with the demonic as well.
It's not that much. It's only 20 armor and 17 medic armor, so it's like pretty much similar. I would say.
Flux gets taken out here. Was that a group smoke or did they just run into him?
They ran into him. No group smoke. Okay, group smoke.
Okay, so it was a group smoke. I just didn't catch that. And I know there was not like a lot of good vision in the area, so maybe Flux just got Surprised. Stormcloud goes down in the base. Very offensive. Like, they're not even taking the engagement just yet. Predator has Empath inside of him. He jumps in on the Sorry-Bird. 4 hits! No, the Keeper comes out! The Sorry-Bird will fall. And now they're turning their attention on the Shaman. He goes down. A Curse can't even get the flame consumption off. He dies so fast. Look at this damage that was coming in from the Predator. He's just chewing through them. They have to invest into a Spike Bolo, right? I mean, there's just no way they can deal with this Pred right now without that item.
I think Pred is smurfing.
Pred is smurfing, okay.
Nah, but yeah, but they need bolas. They need catch. Maybe they can... Even if they buy Hellflower, they don't really catch, right? Like, Pred just mans up and hit you instead of the Hellflower. He doesn't really care about it, but... Yeah, they need bola. They need something. Like, the Void works in the beginning, but now with Harkons, like, man, that item is very... useless, actually, right now. Did we see that?
There's the Resto Stone on Keeper.
There's the Resto, man.
Huge.
Yeah.
That is a huge pickup. And, you know, from a building standpoint, Legion is still in the lead. They have the mid racks. They have open racks in top lane at the Hellborn base. They haven't really taken too much, overall damage at their own base, but they're starting to get to a point where, you know, they're lacking some of the tools that they need to deal with this Predator. If they can somehow try to, like, stall the game out and get, like, a Spike Bola on somebody, Magebane's also going to go for a Brutalizer. He might have just finished that.
You know what I see, Beans? Sorry for catching off, but we see a smoked Pred with DD and Ampef.
Ooh,
you know what?
Okay. I actually couldn't tell you had the DD there.
Oh, man.
M consumption comes out. Unfortunately, it's just going to stall. It's just going to stall to death. I mean, he could have tried to go for a TP, but I think it would have just probably forced a Flux pull. Maybe he should have honestly done that to just you know, make them waste one of their ultimates.
Yeah, but they didn't have...
It's hindsight, it's hindsight, but...
But yeah, but Pred, man,
he... Look at Belphegor's staff. Was it the Empath?
I think the Empath, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so then that means Predator also has a staff. And...
Which, that makes him Q... I need to...
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead and tell the viewers what the...
I think the Q, every time you keep either a creep or a hero, the Q will get refreshed. So you can just keep jumping people.
I think does it also lowers the stacks of your ulti you require?
Yeah, you only need 2.
Bonus.
Yep.
And also gonna fall here. Oh, Predator actually taking a lot of damage. That was a heal bomb on top of the Armadon. That was like a third of his life, it felt like. Most likely due to the Storm Cloud reducing his armor. So they're just trying to kite for now, reset off the Storm Cloud. And then Keeper was forced to use one ultimate here defensively. Still had the Resto Stone available, but his team was not interested in fighting there. I think they also had to defend their base, if I'm not mistaken. So that is something we always have to keep in mind. Even though they are in the lead right now in terms of resources, they still have to address the creeps when they push into their side of the map. So that's always going to be like an annoyance that they have to deal with.
Oh, don't tell me they're gonna split up again. Go with Team Armadon. If you guys gonna push bot now. They actually might not push bot, so it doesn't matter. I feel like they're putting Magebane... They almost play Magebane like Silhouette Beans. Like, he's everywhere. And like when the team is top, he's bot. And when they're younger, he's always alone almost Magebane. I feel like they are... like we see also on the stat, like we see a 4-5-5 on the Magebane in 42 minutes. He haven't really joined much teamfights at all.
No. But he's the highest XPM in the game.
Yeah, he sure is. Yeah, he sure is. You see that Balfagor smoked up? And also the Flux. Maybe let's see if Magebane gonna get caught here or not. Looks like
they probably have an idea he's like down in this bottom part of the map. Oh, Flux gets a smoke broken by Armadon. That's not the target he was hoping to run into. Probably needs about his whole team to...
This is a raid boss. This is a raid ball Beans. Here he comes, man. The Pred with Ampef. Oof. Be aware. We also see that...
Permanent Empath.
We also see that Armadon finishes Oblivion Hammer and also Magebane finishes Brutalizer. So... like, in a way, they have, like, the mana potential, right? But, yeah, I think it's too hard, right? Like, they don't...
So who buys Bola? I'm thinking Sorryper should sell his Void Talisman. And when he gets closer, then he can buy the Spike Bola.
Yeah, he should. Like, I don't think either Demented or Akira's gonna get it anytime soon. I don't think Magebane or Armadon want like to use up their.
Outside of the Stonehide, he doesn't have a Geobane or any other like purging tool for the Bola.
Yeah.
So they do have the Empath with the Sand Scepter already, but I think it only reduces like, what is it, like 2/3 of it or something, or 50%. It doesn't like fully remove the Bola.
Yeah, it's the same with Sheepsing, right? It's only 50% removal. Because the Oblivion Hammer is gonna get finished on the Magebane. Like now they have 2 Oblivion Hammers. Like even though Fred is super strong right now, he can get super easy lockdown. Like it.
They need to, or well, I should ask. Do you think they need to just all in focus the Predator? They still have like to deal with like Keeper Roots and Malfagor ultimates and stuff. They can't. I don't know if they can necessarily like ignore the team support of Predator as well.
Yeah,
but Predator is like the big like underlying issue, I would still say, because when he's hitting, you know, they're not winning a fight when he's free to auto attack. I think it's safe to say like he will just tear through even these tankier targets in just you know, like a few hits. He's able to sit on the target.
So we see that Magebane gonna he's just staying top, man. He's pushing top. Like I said, man, sometimes I feel like he thinks that he's playing Silhouette because he's split pushing so much right now. Like you keep
saying Silhouette, and now like I really hope we see Silhouette either this series or later today, because that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite heroes in the game. So
you know what?
If you keep mentioning it, I'm gonna request it.
Maybe if Hellborn didn't ban him, maybe we would have seen it this game, huh?
Maybe. I know like ties in general. I think they like not only that playstyle, but like they like to play, I think, Silhouette. At least they did years ago. I don't know if they still do nowadays, but
yeah, I haven't watched a lot of games, so I'm not sure. But it wouldn't surprise me if they still did.
What did Pred drop for his? He picked up a Nullstone. He has no buyback at the moment. Do you remember what he had?
Bones.
Okay,
Yeah, Alphonse.
right.
Yeah, Bones.
I was blanking myself. I just remember.
So I guess that Nullstone is for the Bolas, right? But also like they had.
Oh look, Swiper did exactly what I said. He sold this Void Talisman for the Bola. I mean that's honestly that's perfect. That's what they needed.
But now like I feel like the team fights is super 50-50 right now, right? Even though we see a 8.5k lead for the 8k now for the Hellborn, it just doesn't feel like it, right? Like I feel like it's super 50-50.
This game feels very even. It'll come down to like one big team fight where maybe like either the other team has no buybacks or they need to use buybacks, but the biggest factor, other than like Pred being the monster he is right now, is the Legion already collected one Rax. They have an open Rax top. If anything ever happens and like Magebane's able to, you know, just get up there in the top lane either with a smoke or he's just split pushing it by himself, like he can take that Rax pretty fast. And he's still pretty hard to lock down. They would need to burn like a lot of ultimates, I would say, to hold him in place. But
oh, Magebane, you dodged a bullet here. Sorry for
this was a 5-man team smoke coming out from Hellborn, and I don't know if Legion is just reading the map very well, but they do a nice job of avoiding that smoke gank. So Hellborn unfortunately going to waste their smoke attempt here.
I mean, they do have wards in their woods, but they were smoked, so they didn't see them at all. Like they smoked out on their Congo pit.
Yep, and I don't think there's any vision of that either. Do you think it's interesting that neither side is invested into a Boundai this game? There is a Keeper of the Forest in the game, and the game has kind of slowed down a bit. So I think a Boundai would make a lot of sense for map control purposes.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the supports, or maybe like either the Curse or the Demented, maybe even Soul Reaper could get an eye. I feel like the eye is still good. It's for like the map control, like you counter so much wards and everything. Especially when you face like a Keeper, for example, you find these pickoffs or the guys who are hiding or anything. We see that
when we watch Pro League. One of the teams that's very good at doing this is Vinicius, or they were BC Tracks last cycle. Mex is like notorious for picking up early Boundais. and they're very, very good at using that to gain map control in mid and late game. It's something I would like to see, like, you know, obviously we're watching, like, this is like the amateur tourneys, but this is something like that these teams can start to pick up on. You know, once you start going into mid and late game, invest into that bound die. Pick it up. It doesn't even have to be your support. It could be a core hero that buys it, and you know, just use that to remove vision from the other side. It'll make it a lot harder for them to read the map, be in the right places that you want to be, and you know, I mean, just removing enemy vision is very, very powerful. So never underestimate, you know, forcing your opponent to play like off of game sense rather than being able to just see what's happening on the map.
See, Mageman here is gonna be smoked up. He got a wing bow actually. Man, Mageman, he's six slotted right now. I guess he's gonna replace the rune axe later on, but right now he's strong, man. Yeah, the game pretty much stalled, right? Like right now it's the both sides is dodging a lot. Like both of the teams are just trying to find the perfect initiate or a pickoff or anything.
I tell you, if Mageman shows himself for this creep wave,
oh, he's gonna
that
do
would
the
be
rat play.
dangerous. Yeah. Which
is
is okay, I think. I think as long as he can maneuver this without getting, you know, caught by the keeper roots and the Balfagor silences and whatnot.
I wish he made
and he's cutting the wave in the lane that they're pushing, which is very important because this will make it so that they cannot easily put pressure on this tower. Now, Mageman did TP back to base. He sends the Geobane illusions into the top part of the map to cause some pressure, but I believe Predator ported home to defend that preemptively.
We just spell Sunder on the keeper. Do you think that's an item you actually want to go for?
You know, it's not something I would have thought of myself, but I think it makes a lot of sense. They have a lot of tanky heroes. Two are hovering around 3,000 HP. They don't have any shrunken heads. They don't have any way other than the accursed shielding one person to remove the debuff. And the keeper roots are going to hit everyone when Flux pulls them in. So it's going to be like a lot of... it's going to be a pretty high damage output for like a relatively cheap item cost that he invested into. I think it makes a lot of sense. I was thinking he could maybe build into a Staff of the Master himself and start putting like Keeper Eyes around the map, and then he could even upgrade the Flux. Like they could have a full 5-man staffed team, which I think the Flux staff is actually underutilized. It makes the pull global, and the Mageman's in split pushing this game, right? So the staff on the Flux would make a lot of sense, but we'll have to hold that theory crafting off for a second as the Hellborn team is pushing into the Legion base. Here comes the Flux pull. Balfagor ultimate on top. They're looking to bring down some targets. Meanwhile, mid-range is split pushing in the bot lane. They're not going to have his presence for this fight. It's a bloodbath coming out for the Predator. They chew through 3 players. Cursed is the only one alive. Magebane is getting the Rex in the bot lane though, so maybe they're happy with this exchange. Cursed trying to stall for now. He gets walled off. Does have the flame consumption up. Predator going for the tier 4s. And now Magebane is forced to TP back to base. Can he hold this fight? He doesn't have a buyback. He goes all in, buys a shrunken head. So this could be the last fight of the game. Curse is going to fall here. And now Predator, man fighting the Magebane. It looks like he's not going to be able to hold this ground. There's just too much pressure coming in. And I think the Hellborn side just did it. The World Tree is going to fall. And game number 1 is going to go to our Hellborn side here. Hard to communicate. Man, that was a very exciting game, I would say, Doze, to start off the day here. What were your final thoughts here on this match?